I have this theory that if everyone in the world woke up suddenly comfortable with themselves, that the stock market would crash. If everyone was just at peace, consumption would drop so significantly that we would just lose our entire economy. I mean, I think ultimately the basis of consumer culture is to make people not feel normal. Because as long as you feel like you haven't achieved it, you'll keep consuming.
When I was a kid, I was really focused on being normal. I was very clearly gay. I look back on that now and think, oh yeah, that was me just being me. But the need to be normal meant the need to be accepted. And to be accepted meant to not be questioned by anybody. And as I got older, I figured out how to dress normal, how to walk normal, how to behave normal, so that I never had a double take from another person. And in a lot of ways, my speech really sort of gave myself away. And it's a thing that I still struggle with, trying to figure out, like, what does it mean to sound normal? What does it mean to sound effeminate? What does it mean to be lispy and to have a sibilant S when I speak? That's what I think about when I think about normal.
And I want normal to be that I wake up and get dressed and work out and am very productive and I'm living my life like I'm a wild artist lady. But sometimes that's not what normal is. In fact, my therapist and I are discussing a lot lately how normal for me needs to be a little less pink and a little less pretty. And I haven't failed if normal isn't pretty. But do you ever feel sometimes like during quarantine because like you have a roof over your head and maybe my parents love me, I should just be okay, but sometimes like life is like really not okay, and I think normal is a lot to ask for right now.
Normal. 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 I guess is just a way, an acceptable way, a way of least resistance. I don't know, normal. What does that mean?
The most clearly I dealt with the pain of normal as a child was the height weight percentile chart that my childhood pediatrician insisted on showing me my position on every time I had my physical. And I have this really visceral memory of the red line that defined the fact that I was in what he had called the 90th percentile of weight versus height. I don't know. I get really mad when I think about how much suffering my poor little kid self had to go through when it came to the definitions of what normal meant and what she was not.
Like in books, Like they go like, oh, Henry's just a normal 12-year-old boy. And then like when I was younger, like 8, I would say, oh, okay, like I imagine like the white suburban child with like brown hair riding a bike in like some suburban area. Like that's like what I imagine. Then if you imagine that, then like are you calling someone who's not white not normal?
I am a writer as well as a performer. So for me, words are really important, and I am not a fan in killing a word or declaring it dead or in some ways banning it, because I think we do not kill an idea just by taking away a word. It reminds me so much of the Jim Casey quote from Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. And I'm not going to get it exactly right, but it's always stayed with me, and it stayed with me in this way. Beware the day when the bombs stop falling, but the bombers yet live. And to me, that has always meant just because you take away a thing, a word, for instance, it doesn't mean you take away the idea or the impulse behind that. And in fact, I think it's dangerous to ban a word like that or to kill it. I think it leaves the power, the negative power of it out in the world, but in a way that you can't see as easily. I think better to dispel it, to bring it out into the light, to look at it, and to allow its power to dissipate. But I'm a writer, and so I have very strong opinions about words, and I think they are incredibly flawed
I don't know.
tools
I
to
hope
say
there is a way
what we
to do it
feel and think.
that you show so many people and so many different bodies and so many different ways of being human that no normal is established. That you sort of blow normal apart into a million different pieces. I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to do that. I hope there is. That's what I've dedicated my career to trying to break normal apart into a million different pieces so that there are so many pieces, there's no way to get back to a whole.